Hello there. Tonight, the holy grail of hair growth.
As medicine finally figured out the answer to baldness. Discovered completely by accident in Israel, this red gel stops hair loss in its tracks. You may have heard it all before, but this treatment looks like it might actually work.
Also, the moving story of Vicky, a girl with cerebral palsy who's finally found a way to speak out.
And the Frenchman invents a brighter balloon. But why?
Now, over the centuries, mankind has come up with some marvels of engineering. Think of railways, roundabouts, roller skates. Yet there are still those who say that nature is the best engineer of all. In fact, at MIT in Boston, they believe creatures of the sea can teach us a trick or two about boat design. Fast, efficient, and used by boats for more than 150 years. The propeller. But how many fish can you name that use a propeller to get by? Well, researchers at MIT decided that when it came to pushing boats through water, we humans are on the wrong tack. So why not look to nature to design a replacement for the propeller? 3 years ago, Tomorrow's World came to Boston to witness their first attempt. Robo-Tuna, the world's first robot that moved just like a tuna.
The Robotuna showed that a fin was more efficient than a propeller, but it also required that the body move from side to side.
And it was this that was Robo-Tuna's undoing. Actually building a ship that undulates back and forth in a fishy sort of way proved a little unrealistic. So Robo-Tuna has taken a bit of a nosedive. But never ones to be put off by a small setback, the scientists have gone back to nature's drawing board to see if there are any other designs which might do the job even better. Fish were obviously out of the question, so the scientists started looking at other aquatic dwellers for inspiration. Well, after 6 months of studying a number of animals and how they propel themselves, the researchers finally found what they were looking for, the ultimate in boat design, the penguin. Now, watching a penguin waddle on land isn't the most inspiring sight in the world. Only when they hit the water does their potential as the future of boat power start to become obvious.
In the penguin, we found an example of an animal which holds its body as it's swimming still like that of a boat, but uses 2 flippers to propel itself efficiently through the water.
After months of fiddling, Jim came up with an ingenious penguin-based solution, a twin flipper drive. But rather than putting the fins in the middle of the boat, he mounted them on the back. And this is what he came up with, Proteus, the penguin boat. But would it be better than a propeller? Using a fluorescent dye, Jim studied the wake pattern. What he was looking for was most of the water being forced out behind the boat, pushing it along. Any water pushed to the side means wasted energy and a less efficient system. Well, as you can see, nearly all the water is pushed directly behind the boat, which is exactly what's wanted. But testing it in the calm of the lab is one thing, sailing it on the open waters of the Charles River, quite another. All right, Jim, it's the moment of truth. Here we go.
See how she goes.
Despite choppy conditions, the penguin boat moved along as smoothly on the river as it had in the lab. Jim's calculations showed his system was running at about 87% efficiency, a lot better than a comparable propeller boat. But these are only small-scale tests. The system could, at least according to the computers, be used to drive much larger boats. In fact, the larger the fin, the better they work. And by mounting the fins underneath the stern, their efficiency is doubled. For small pleasure boats, this new system could be mounted on the back to give a sort of outboard penguin motor. So just as the propeller replaced the paddle steamer, perhaps one day fins might make the propeller sink without trace. Although I've heard it said that squid power is showing some early promise.
Squid power? Well, you never know. Now on to tonight's main story, which is about hair loss, or rather a way to prevent it. There are